G'day team, it's your old mate, the Kiwi Badger. We're just off the KFC. AFC! We're off to AFC, man! I'm going to take a bike for a ride. What is that bike? You will soon see. I'm on a 2015 KTM Super Adventure 1290. This isn't so much as a review. I'm just trying to really explore the different types of bikes I might be in the market for. So we know that the ST1300 is one bike, and this is potentially another. This has got a whole bunch of functions, ride modes, electronic suspension, so on and so forth. As I say, I'm not reviewing this bike as such, because I don't know everything about it, and I'm not going to sit here and guess and misinform you as to how many brake horsepower it makes, so on and so forth. And it looks like we're going to be riding into rain, which is not ideal, but hey, it is what it is. I'm not even going to play with the cruise control, and yes, it's got cruise control. I will play with the suspension because now it's on sport and we're in town and it's really quite bumpy and uncomfortable. General information, trip 2, trip 1, the favourites, drive mode, damping mode, set. Let's go to comfort mode and see what the difference is there. Oh, it wallows a lot more. As you accelerate, the bike tips back, and under brakes it the front dives a hell of a lot more. This bike is also a bit of a head turner. Every person I've ridden past, whether they be a pedestrian or a driver, have looked at the bike. I've got to admit, it is a pretty sexy looking machine. And I'm not going to lane split on this because the panniers are very, very wide. Let's get a good look in this window here. That's a cool push bike. Not a bad looking bike, I've got to say. It's very fluid, it's very smooth. This has got the same motor in it as the Super Duke, the big bastard. It's a 1290cc V-twin. And it is brutal. It'd be quite scary actually to see what this could do in the frame of the smaller Super Duke, because even in this big heavy frame, with all of the extra wiring and metal and panniers that I've got on here, this thing is, yeah, it's scary fast. Physically it's a huge bike. I'm 6 foot tall, and this takes every inch of my 6 feet. That's what she said. Takes every inch of my 6 feet to get on and off this bike. It has got so many features. I'm not going to cover them all. I'll probably forget half of them. This thing, yeah, is fast. Like, no jokes, fast. It's about 160 brake horsepower if I'm not mistaken. Well, that's what the Super Duke puts out, about 160 brake horsepower, and this would have probably every one of those in here. On the left hand side of the dash here, you've got a favourites screen. It's just telling you that all your current settings. So currently it's telling me that how far this bike has travelled. It's telling me the fuel range, the suspension, the current suspension setting, and it's on comfort. The drive mode, I put it on sport. When I left the dealership for a test ride, it was on street, and the bike was no slouch then. I just wanted to see what difference there was if I put it on sport. Yep, let's just say there's a bit of a difference. So the drive mode is it's currently on sport. The air temperature, it's got outside enough. I think that's just a waste of time kind of feature, really, to be honest with you. I really don't see the point, other than you can go, geez, it was cold when I went out for a ride this morning. My bike was telling me it was bloody 2 degrees, mate, you know. Bloody 2 degrees. Bloody 2 degrees. Would you believe it? 2 degrees. Look, if it's cold, it's cold. I don't really care what the actual temperature is. You know, it is what it is. On the right hand side of the dash, we've obviously got the tachometer there telling us how many revs per minute the bike is doing. And it's also got a gear indicator, our speedometer, our fuel tank, a clock, the engine temperature, and it's got a picture of a man or a person. Well, it's a man. Let's just say it's a man. I can only assume it's because it's telling me that there's one person on this bike. I mean, this bike's probably that clever that it can tell you there's 2 people on the bike. Look, all I'll say about that is I don't really need a picture to tell me how many people are on the bike. There's got to be something seriously wrong with your riding or your situational awareness if you aren't aware that you've lost a person off the bat, that you have to rely upon a picture. You know, what's the point? That's quite a nice looking little bike. Brapalicious. It's a huge bike. It's got something like a 35 litre tank, I think I was told. As I say, this isn't a full comprehensive professional review. This is a bike that I'm considering along with an ST1300. So basically it's just to take it for a ride to see if I like it. And I'm just telling you what I've seen and what I've experienced and what I think of it, for no other reason than I can, because I care about you. And sharing is caring, peeps. Sharing is caring. Come on, bro, no feet down. No wonder you've got an L plate, brother. No feet down. But you keep up that good work on your little... What the hell is that? A little Honda CBR 250 or something. Come on, Luna man. Keep your hands on the handlebars. All the different settings you get through the computer. There's on my favourites, obviously I've just talked about, there's a drive mode. That's your engine settings essentially. It's sport, street, rain or off-road. There's dampening, which are your suspension settings, sport, street, comfort and off-road. There's heating. Heating for the grips, heating for the riders, bum crack, and heating for the passengers, bum crack. There's TPMS, and I've got absolutely no bloody idea what TPMS is at all. No feet down, brother, no feet down. Oh, dude. That is CBR 300R is what that is. Can't help but feel it's a false neutral, brother. This guy in front of me is acting the fool, I think, to, I don't know, disguise the fact that he's a learner and maybe to feel a little bit cooler because he's riding in front of the Kiwi Badger, and he might think like I'm judging him, but I'm not, buddy. Just ride safely and look after yourself. Don't ride like a fucking dickhead, okay? Just come on, bro. Come on, broski. Oh, come on, mate. I don't like about this bike, well, it's not that I don't like it, it's just different. So it would take some getting used to if I was to buy a bike like this. The indicator switch is very delicate. It feels delicate when this is a big, brutal adventure sport, super duper. Fuck, this is scary fast, man, I tell you. That's what I like about this bike too. The fact you can stand up on it and go over speed bumps at 100 miles an hour. Yeah, sorry, I got carried away having fun and stuff. The indicator feels delicate, which is a bit of a shame because this is a beast of a bike.